Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals as they get set to match up with the #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, and the Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
On the return, Jabril Peppers. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They're brought out by the #1 overall pick in this year's draft, the Heisman Trophy winner from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
From walking on at two different programs in the Big 12 to a Heisman Trophy winner, Maxwell Award winner, Walter Camp winner, and unanimous All-American, not to mention the #1 overall pick in the NFL, the stars have certainly aligned for Baker Mayfield. But now comes the tough part. Can you get an 0-16 team back to respectability and hopefully in the future to playoff success?
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
An emerging threat in the passing game is David Njoku, who had a really nice rookie season in 2017 with 32 catches, 386 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And many also remember he was the 3rd first-round pick for Cleveland in the 2017 draft, following Myles Garrett, defensive end, and Jabril Peppers, defensive back.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's got his tight end, Njoku. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pick up there, 26 yards. Baker Mayfield, obviously the #1 pick overall. That was controversial, though. What ultimately made the Browns go in his way?
Well, post-draft, I did hear a Browns executive talk about the efficacy of Baker Mayfield. In other words, how people rally to him, how people respond to him. He talked about seeing him at a workout, how he showed up, yelled out to the other guys. They yelled back with the same response, ran right to him, and they were ready to start the workout. He said things like that and his talent tipped the balance in his favor to go #1.
Now let's go.
Mayfield now from the 50. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Here we go now. 3-19.
A first carry for the rookie Nick Chubb. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
All right, partner, let's go back over the last couple of plays. Sack, loss of yards on a running play, not exactly the sequence that an offensive coordinator gets comfortable with when calling plays.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
Now let's go. 3-19.
From the gun, Mayfield. And Callaway taking it in left side. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Alex Erickson deep for Cincinnati. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Here come the Bengals now to take over. Calling the shots in the huddle will be the 8th-year man from TCU. His first season in his 30s. The quarterback is Andy Dalton.
2 straight subpar years for the Bengals, 6-9-1 in 2016, followed by a 7-9 in 2017. Many are starting to wonder whether Andy Dalton's actually on the hot seat this year. It's unfortunate. It comes with the territory when you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, even if it's not always fair.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they're not going to get a playoff here as time will expire on this first quarter. 0-0 our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. The first carry for the 2nd-year man, Joe Mixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked into what they're doing offensively. And now they've earned the right to rush the passer on third down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively, they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Second down, Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at the 19. Dalton operating in the red zone now to Mixon on the check down. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. That was hit, and Dalton lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
That's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
You know, the Cleveland Browns, Charles, it has been a tough season for them so far. Yes, they do have a couple wins, but 2-4-1, and another overtime loss in Week 7. This one at Tampa Bay. It's a team that could realistically have 5 or 6 wins right now.
Yeah, and I think that while they're keeping things competitive, as you mentioned, there could be some good news with that. I like their demeanor. They're not happy about being competitive. They want those wins that you just mentioned that they've let get away. 4th overtime game of the year already. But the good thing is Baker Mayfield is their starting quarterback. 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, a late touchdown to send it to overtime, and then got beat on a 59-yard field goal by Chandler Catanzaro in the final 2 minutes of overtime.
Their 4th overtime game they've had this year. They're 1-3 in those contests. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this 1st half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Could we get a touchdown in this 1st half after all? It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
1st down, Mayfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And that one results in 35 yards. Mayfield with it once more, and that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Darquez Dennard there defensively. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And again, it's Mayfield. Underneath for Johnson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now a signal and a timeout called, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this 1st half of play. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. Handoff comes to Chubb. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a defensive stalemate. No scoring in that first half whatsoever. But a breakthrough can't be too far off. And for the start of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. On the return, it's Alex Erickson. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. Mixon will get it to start the second half. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Third down from the gun. Dalton. He's got his man. Boyd. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. And Dalton to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to sack him for a loss of 6. The #1 pick a season ago, proving his worth.
7 sacks in 11 games as a rookie. Didn't play the full year due to some injuries, but he's going to be the face of the franchise on the defensive side of the ball. Myles Garrett, he fills up your screen when he's rushing the passer.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Dalton here from the gun, and that is incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They go play action here on 1st down. Room here to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. So these 2 teams will take the long walk to the opposite end of the stadium as we're through 3 quarters. But we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mayfield on play action. And some room to maneuver. He got 29 yards that time. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
A run for Nick Chubb, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. And again, it's Chubb. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The Browns on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is indeed good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Well, it took a while to get anything on the scoreboard, but we finally have our first points of the contest.
So the question now becomes, can they make this one stand up? And the way that these defenses have played, those 3 points almost look like 30, don't they?
Yeah, those 3 points look like a miracle right now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He's back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And now it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton on the draw to Mixon, and he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Andy Dalton had 3 game-winning drives a year ago. He'll try to lead the Bengals to another as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And Green with a catch left side.
Pass interference, defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Back to throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 more on that one, and another first down. And a spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Offense.
So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the 4th, it's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? Because this feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice and tense, on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These 2 teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead 2nd down. Another nice job there defensively. They really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
A handoff to Mixon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
We all know that Myles Garrett was drafted #1 in the NFL for his ability to get to the quarterback. That's his stock in trade. But the underrated part of his game, plays well against the run, knows how to hold the point of attack.
The Bengals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Dalton. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
He gets this one away, and, boy, it's another boomer. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, here we go now.
What can Mayfield do here in the OT? He sets to fire deep. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A huge play there in overtime. 54 yards. So often in overtime, Charles, games are won or lost on one big play. That might have been that big play right there.
And the ability to execute it despite the stakes, because let's face it, we've been there before. We've seen guys, maybe they hyperventilate a little bit when it's their opportunity. Not in this situation. They executed it calmly, and they really got it done.
And now they're set up in prime position.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Mayfield. Dumping it off for Johnson. Flashed a nifty move, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
He's going to get it running right. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage game there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say, get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll give it to Chubb, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.